Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I do these questions on Wednesday. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka, done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp. Behind me, BetterHelp. BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They are all over the world. Just go to BetterHelp, fill out some questions, and they will place you with a licensed master's level or PhD level. I've had a lot of good feedback. People like their therapist, which makes me very happy. And if they don't like their therapist, it's super easy to just fill out some questions, and then they'll put you with a different therapist. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, so holy cow. So yesterday, 118, today, 119. Woo! Yay, team. I am not loving the heat. And our air conditioner, 1 week into our trip this last month, it started crapping out. So our air conditioner is setting around 83 degrees is what it's able to cool down to. So we're just kind of going, please monsoon start so we can get things cooled down, and then maybe in the wintertime we can get a new air conditioner. So, because we don't really use the heater. So anyway, it's been very hot. So I apologize if I'm a little verklempt and not on my typical A game. So anyway, the heat does that. All right. So tons of questions. Why are dark triads sadists? Okay. So when you're dealing with a dark triad, that is a narcissist combined with a psychopath or antisocial and control freak. Okay. So they are one of the key aspects of most of the personality disorders, not all, but most of the personality disorders, especially the cluster Bs, is there is a lack of empathy. An absolute lack of empathy. They will not put themselves into somebody else's shoes and go, what that must feel like. Oh my God. So that's why healthy, normal people have got empathy for, say, for example, the birds having to be out in this weather, or cats or dogs, or, other people, or, you're like, wow, this is sad and scary and I don't like it. So, but a narcissist, a psychopath, antisocial, when they've slid down the spectrum there, they have no empathy. They don't care. They literally, truly, I cannot emphasize this enough. They literally do not care about anybody else or anything else. And they refuse to acknowledge that animals are sentient, and they refuse to acknowledge that animals suffer in this kind of heat as well. They're absolute sadists, and they enjoy inflicting pain. It makes them feel powerful. So that's what sadism's about. It's about power and control. It's inflicting pain. It's watching the fear on the target's face. That's what they enjoy, because it makes them feel godlike, which to me it's like, ugh. Yeah, they're disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. And I wouldn't even call them human beings, because when you start torturing animals, or you start torturing people, or you start torturing anything that's sentient, yeah, there's a problem. So, my sister and I, when I was up in Chico, we got into this very deep conversation about, why is the universe so violent? Why do we have to kill to get protein? Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do that? So she's having an existential crisis right now. So we're kind of working on that kind of thing and talking about it, because it's true. It's like, it's very upsetting that it does seem set up that we do have to kill to get protein, traditionally. I mean, you can do it vegetarian and all of that thing. And that's what I'm starting to lean towards. It's like, I really want to start going, not completely vegan, because butter and cheese, if I can do it, but yeah. So yeah, it's just things that make me think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off on again, the heat. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but it is interesting. But the difference is that sadists enjoy the killing, and they enjoy inflicting the pain. It's like, they don't necessarily want their target dead, but they want them to suffer. And that to me is just absolute evil incarnate. So that's why they enjoy it. They have no empathy. If they had empathy, they wouldn't enjoy it. Seriously, I feel guilty when I step on an ant. So, it's like, no, they have no empathy. They have no empathy cog. They cannot put themselves, they will not put themselves into somebody else's shoes and go, what must that be like? What must that feel like? So, and they don't understand it. They don't understand emotions. They don't understand compassion. To them, the softer emotions are weakness. To them, compassion is foolishness. So the way they treat other people speaks volumes about who they are and nothing about who their target of abuse is. So I just want you guys to remember that. They're sadists because it's a power and control game. They're sadists because they enjoy it. They literally get off on it. That's their thing. Okay. When a friend throws red flags, should I run? Yes, 110%. So a true friend is supportive, respectful, kind, compassionate. They are, and passionate about being your friend. They are there when you need them. They're not just fair weather friends. They don't flip the script and make it about them. They don't start talking about themselves. Super important. If they're throwing red flags, if they're showing up to your place a hot mess, and I don't mean a hot mess like they're having an emotional breakdown, because you need to be there for them too. But I mean a hot mess like they're showing up drunk, or they're showing up high, or they're showing up and, trying to cause problems, or, things like that. You don't have to put up with that. You don't. What you do in that case, and I know part of the other question was, I've known this person forever and I don't want to give up on the friendship. Let's talk about time invested fallacy. We haven't talked about that for a while. Time invested fallacy is where we go, but I've known them for so long. But I've spent all this time investing in them. Well, okay, here's the deal. With a narcissist, with a malignant borderline, with any of the cluster Bs that are way down on the spectrum, your investment is just being flushed down the toilet. Seriously. So if they were a stock or a bond and they stopped returning, would you keep throwing money in after that no good stock? No, you wouldn't. You'd stop. You'd be like, nope, we're done. Thank you. I'm moving along now. The thing to do if you have a friend that is in a crisis or is obviously abusing alcohol or drugs or whatever, you offer them a lifeline. Basically, you go, hey, you need help. You do an intervention, essentially is what it is. You do an intervention. You say, you need help. And because I am your friend, I am going to tell you this. You need help. Here's the name of a company that does counseling for drug and alcohol abuse, or here's the name of a good therapist or whatever. You do that. And 9 times out of 10, if they're in the throes of their addiction, they're going to tell you to go screw yourself, which, okay, fine. You've done the right thing. Now you walk away. You shut the door, but you don't lock it. Does that make sense? So it's not your job to fix them because you did not break them. Okay. And if the friend is throwing red flags, if they're drugging and alcoholing and creating drama and chaos and not supporting you and not listening to you and or is a fair weather friend, I don't want to hear your problems, blah, 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 blah. That's not what friendship is. Friendship is you get together and you listen to each other's thing, and you help each other out and you find a solution, you move on, go have a cup of coffee, seriously. So when they throw huge red flags, you basically say, I'm not tolerating this. Here's the name of a therapist. When you are done with therapy, let me know. And other than that, I'm not interested. And you shut the door. Don't lock it, but definitely shut it. So why do they expect to be taken care of? Okay, so parental narcissists, parental dark triads, have a sense of entitlement the size of North America. Seriously. They seriously believe it's due to them. So I've seen these, oh my God. I have seen these horrible parents that have no business having kids tell the children that they are obligated to them. Fear, obligation, guilt. Fear, obligation, guilt, fog. That they are obligated to them because, I gave birth to you. I put you in this world. Well, the rest of the time, since that child came out between your legs, lady, you've been abusing the crap out of him. So that child owes you literally goose egg. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Zero. Zilch. You know what I'm saying? So they do. They have this sense of entitlement, and they will... Oh, God. I've heard parents say the most manipulative, and I put parents in bunny ears. They're not parents. They're manipulators. The covert narcissists, the overt narcissists, they will say things like, oh, you tore me while I was giving birth to you. Okay. That kid had nothing to do with this. You should be mad at your doctor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just saying things like that in order to create a sense of guilt in the child so that they will feel obligated, fear, obligation, guilt, to take care of that parent in their old age. My whole goal is to stay healthy enough that nobody needs to take care of me, that one day I will just drop dead at 94 from natural causes while I'm on the beach. That's what I want, with nobody around so they don't freak out. And hopefully when they find my body, it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I don't want trauma around my death, and I don't want somebody to have to take care of me. It's like that. Companionship, that would be lovely. I love companionship. That would be great. But these people want you to wait on them hand and foot. My grandmother did that to my mother. So she moved in with us after she had a stroke. But she was functional, but she didn't want to be functional, and she could walk around, but she didn't want to have to walk around, and she could cook and she could take care of herself, but she insisted that my mom take care of her. And so for 20 years, my mom took care of her, and this woman was, snapping her fingers at my mother like she was her servant. And prior to that, I remember telling Mom, I hate it when Grandma comes over. And Mom said, why? And I said, because she wants all of your attention all the time. If one of us try to get your attention, she gets angry. Well, now I know what I was dealing with, but at age 6, I didn't, So yeah, they are a sense of entitlement. Me, I, more my genitals. That's all they are. And they want to believe that they are special and that they deserve it. And I deserve to be taken. I gave birth to you. I deserve to be taken care. You need to take care. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. The only thing you need to do is pay taxes and die. That's about it. So, yeah. So that's why they expect to be taken care of, is because that's part and parcel of their disorder, is that they have this idea that they're God and that people owe them and that they are, I deserve it. I gave birth. I deserve it. Well, guess what, lady? 100,000 million other people have also given birth, and they don't act like a jackwagon like you do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. It's meh. So if your parent is abusive and they're giving you the guilt trip and they're like, you're going to take care of me. You're going to. That's kind of like a version of the you guns. You just nod and smile. And then when the time comes, you place them in a nice care facility. Yeah. You are under no obligation to take care of them. And furthermore, let me posit this. You can't. When somebody starts having medical issues, okay, and especially with some narcissists, food is their addiction. If they can't have any other addiction, they blow up. They become very, very heavy. You cannot lift them out of bed. They're going to have bed sores. They're going to have medical issues. You can't lift them. You're going to hurt yourself. So the answer to that is a resounding, no, I'm not. You're going to go to a facility that can care for you properly, period. Seriously. I mean, and that's the other thing I've seen is that the abuser will, and we've talked about this, the abuser will do things like smear feces all over the bathroom and then demand that the person clean it up. That's a common thing. I just blew my mind when I started down this particular path of helping people, how many commonalities and how bizarre and how completely specific the abuse is. And it's the same, and it's across the board. I mean, that's the thing that's crazy, is that they will use feces as a way to power and control. If they don't have the money, if they don't have this, that, the other thing, if you are caring for them, they will literally smear feces and demand that you clean it up, and it makes them feel powerful. And I've seen this multiple times. It's bizarre, their obsession with feces. So, yeah, no, you're not going to do it. You're not going to take care of them. Absolutely not. You put them into a care facility that can. Because you can't. You're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. And even if you are, they shouldn't be your patient. Okay? Seriously. Okay. What is it with them talking about a person in front of that person's back? Let me just process that. What is it with them talking about a person in front of that person's back? Okay, I got it. All right. So they, in super dysfunctional families, they will badmouth a person with the person standing right there. And the game is, you're not supposed to notice that I'm saying this. I'm being passive aggressive and I want you to know I don't like you, but I don't want to come out to your face and say it. And your role is to not say anything. Crazy much? Yeah, that's insane. So that's another version of telephone, but it's a really passive aggressive version of telephone. So what it is that the person who is unempowered, passive aggressive, whatever, is saying horrible things about you and you're standing right here. And their game is that you're not supposed to call them on it. Call them on it. Absolutely, 110%. Don't put up with that. That is BS. Do not put up with it. Do not put up with it. That's passive aggressive. And basically, what I've done when I've had family members do that, I will just basically go, if you have something to say, I am standing right here. And then you watch them backpedal. Because they're cowards. They're basically cowards. Basically, when it comes down to it, narcissists are cowards. They are. Psychopaths, not so much. They're a little more. They don't really truly care. So, but narcissists are very concerned about image. And if somebody calls them on something and they're being passive aggressive and they know that you're not going to put up with it, they're going to book out of there because they're not getting their game. They're not allowed to play their game. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's an incredibly passive-aggressive form of communication. So they say bad things about the person standing right there with the expectation, like serious, like magic thinking, that this person is going to say nothing. Nope, you call them on it. 110%. Nope, I am not going to stand here and be bad-mouthed. If you have something to say, biatch, you say it to my face. Period. So yeah, that's what that is. All right, my loves. I will hopefully find my list of what I'm talking about on Sunday. Good Lord. Is Sunday going to be August? Please tell me no. It's just like this month. I'm telling you, July shows. Hold on. Let me see. Where am I? Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Judicial system. What you need to know about the judicial system. Hail to the yes. We are going to talk about that. So what you need to know about the judicial system, especially in regards to divorce, how to behave, what to say, what to do, how to protect yourself, etc., etc., etc. And ahead of that, I will say a couple of good books to read are Splitting by Bill Eddy and Randy Krieger, and Lori Hellis's The No Nonsense Guide to Divorce. Abso-freaking-lutely. I wish I could get her on my show. I've contacted her a couple of times. She's never responded, but I wish she would, because boy howdy, I have tons of questions. So, those are two good books, and that's what you need to know. So we're going to be talking about what you need to know about the judicial system. So we'll talk about that on Sunday. I am truly hoping that my air conditioner lasts. We'll see. And you guys stay safe out there. It's dangerous. If you're in the Southwest, heat stroke can happen so fast. I was reading a AP story from one of the AP photographers who didn't realize how dangerous it was. And he'd been out in the heat for a day or two consecutively, and his body didn't have a chance to cool down. The temperatures have not been below 90, although last night they finally were a little bit below 90. So, yeah, just crazy stuff. But basically the biggest thing is drink water. Drink water. Drink water. Because you don't realize how much you're perspiring. And when you stop sweating, that's when you need to worry. Because that means you're in deep trouble. So, cooling stations are important. If you have to be out in the heat, make sure you get in and get cool for a couple of hours. Yeah. So there that is. All right, guys. I will hopefully talk to you on Sunday, and hopefully my air conditioner will last until the fall. All right, I will talk to you guys later. It's going to be 119 today. Why am I living here? I don't know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.